I'll be real with you, bro. On this DMC6 thing, I want to believe. You know those rare moments on the internet where everyone goes, this might actually be happening this time? Yeah, we are right there. Because tomorrow, Thursday, the 12th of February, 2026, PlayStation has a State of Play broadcast. Sony announced it as 60 minutes with third-party games and updates from PlayStation Studios. When it is that long, your brain immediately drifts to Capcom, and you start thinking, could we actually see a surprise? But before we get into the details, if you enjoy content like this, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. The second State of Play ends. If there is even the smallest thing on the Devil May Cry front, we will be one of the first to talk about it. Now, let's get to the spark that started the fire. The claim going around lately is that DMC6 will appear at State of Play. At first, it spreads like a small leak rumor, and then suddenly, everyone is talking about it. The thing that really poured gasoline on it was Brian Hanford, the voice of V in DMC5, reacting to the rumor on social media. The fandom immediately went into full mode thinking he must know something. Then the classic internet reality check hits. Hanford follows it up by saying he just got hyped from the tweets like everyone else, and if he actually knew something, he would say it. So there is no leaked voice recording, no trailer confirmation, nothing concrete. It is just excitement. And like GamesRadar pointed out, that alone is not proof. It just explains why the rumor exploded the way it did. So, do we throw this rumor away completely? I would not. Because Capcom has sent some official signals. In their reports, they clearly state that they want to grow Devil May Cry alongside Mega Man and Ace Attorney into core IP level. They mention new games, remakes, and ports to new hardware as part of that strategy. That does not mean DMC6 is coming tomorrow, but it definitely does not mean the series is shelved. It means they plan to grow the brand. There's also a serious question mark behind the scenes with Hideaki Itsuno leaving Capcom. His departure was interpreted by many as not wanting to be stuck in a DMC6 or DMC7 loop. That created two opposite reactions. One side believes DMC6 could be delayed, the other side believes Capcom can continue without him and still push the series forward as a core IP. The situation is not crystal clear, but the heat around this topic is not random either. The most confusing part is that some people saying DMC6 is coming might actually be sensing a remake instead. Recently, talk about a DMC1 remake flared up again because series creator Hideki Kamiya made comments saying he would like to remake the original and even redesign parts of it. That is not an official Capcom announcement, but comments like that make the internet feel like something is happening behind the scenes. Once remake talk enters the conversation, the DMC6 rumor burns in the same fire. Suddenly, the idea appears that maybe it is not 6, but a remake announcement instead. There is also history on the voice actor side that makes fans extra alert. Dan Southworth, who plays Vergil, once hinted years ago that they might call them back, and then DMC5 eventually happened. Around 2024, there were also discussions about him mentioning something related to a younger Vergil voice. Naturally, that fuels paranoia about whether something is happening again. But again, that is not confirmation. It just explains why the fandom reacts so strongly to small hints. When it comes to State of Play, the 60-minute detail really matters. Sony announced it officially and confirmed that it will feature a mix of third-party titles and PlayStation Studios updates. That format works perfectly for a company like Capcom. If they wanted to show something, this would be a suitable stage. At the same time, Capcom sometimes prefers their own events or other showcases for major announcements. So State of Play does not automatically mean DMC is guaranteed. It just opens a window of possibility. The way this rumor spread is also interesting. It starts as a small leak-style claim, then spreads across subreddits and social media until it becomes something everyone is discussing. There is no leaked gameplay, no build number, no screenshots, just a claim moving in waves. And when hype grows fast enough, you cannot help but think maybe something is actually there. Situations like this usually end in one of two ways. Either there was a real hint behind the scenes, or the internet simply inflated its own excitement. So let me be clear. What we have right now is not confirmed information. It is layered signals. Capcom talking about DMC as a future core IP, Itsuno's departure, Netflix pushing the franchise back into the spotlight, DMC5 surpassing 10 million sales, and the timing of State of Play. Put together, it makes the idea of a DMC announcement feel reasonable, but honesty matters. There is no hard evidence confirming DMC6 at this moment. One thing many people overlook is that Capcom does not treat DMC as just a nostalgia action title. In investor language, they clearly say they plan to expand it. In Integrated Report 2025, they directly mention growing brands like Mega Man, Devil May Cry, and Ace Attorney through new releases, remakes, and ports. That does not say DMC6 tomorrow, but it strongly implies new activity around the franchise. The Netflix DMC anime also plays a role here. Capcom stated that DMC5 passed 10 million copies sold worldwide, and credited strategies like expanding the brand into other media. Polygon also highlighted how the anime and major Steam discounts help bring attention back to the game. When even a 2019 title can trend again years later, it makes sense that Capcom might want to capitalize on that momentum with a new announcement. Still, big showcases like State of Play can be unpredictable. Sometimes they are packed with trailers and very little deep information. So I am not locking myself into the mindset that it must be there. I'm simply saying that if Capcom plans to show something soon, a 60-minute global showcase is a strong candidate. If nothing appears tomorrow, that does not mean the rumor was pointless. Capcom's core IP strategy is long-term. If DMC6 is not shown at State of Play, they might be waiting for their own event or another showcase. Or perhaps the real project under development is a remake, saved for a more fitting moment. No announcement tomorrow would just mean not today. Now imagine if something does appear. It would likely not be an extended gameplay deep dive. More realistically, it would be a teaser, a logo, a short atmospheric clip, maybe an in-development message. That is typically how companies handle multi-game showcases, just enough to confirm existence and ignite discussion. The biggest fuel behind the rumor is timing rather than proof. Capcom talking about expanding DMC, Netflix pushing visibility, DMC5 hitting major milestones. Strategically, this feels like a moment where an announcement could make sense. But strategic possibility is not the same as confirmation. If it is DMC6, then the next question becomes what kind of DMC6, DMC5 ended with Dante and Vergil in a new position, and V's arc feeling complete. That naturally leads to debates about who would take the spotlight. Some argue Nero is ready to be the main lead. Others believe Dante and Vergil will remain central. Capcom tends to favor multiple playable characters, so that structure feels likely. But that is speculation based on past patterns, not leaked story information. If instead it is a remake, that path feels cleaner in some ways. A remake would avoid the pressure of launching a brand new mainline entry after Itsuno's departure. It would allow Capcom to modernize a classic with RE Engine and refresh the brand. Since remakes are officially mentioned in their strategy, that scenario is grounded in reality. Combined with Kamiya's public interest in revisiting the original, it becomes a very plausible outcome. There is also the broader question about the current DMC development team. Leadership changes always introduce risk, but Capcom's own messaging suggests long-term commitment. A major company does not build a franchise around a single individual. So if DMC appears tomorrow, it signals confidence. If it does not, it signals timing rather than abandonment. Even if State of Play ends without DMC, I would not close the case. Sometimes companies warm up the audience before dropping the real announcement at another event. In a period where Capcom openly talks about expanding DMC, complete silence feels unlikely long-term. Let me say clearly that the evidence side of this rumor is weak. No leaked gameplay, no official documents, no solid confirmation. What we have is excitement amplified by timing and history. Small sparks can create massive fires online. That is why I am not shouting confirmed. I am saying possible, but stay grounded. At the same time, we should not kill the excitement entirely. For the first time in a while, momentum around DMC feels real. The anime, the sales milestone, the investor language, remake discussions, all signs point toward movement in the franchise. Whether that movement is DMC6, a remake, or another type of release, it does not feel like nothing is happening. And if tomorrow even a logo appears for 2 seconds, that alone would send the fandom into orbit. If nothing appears, we stay patient and look toward the next showcase. We will judge what happens clearly after the broadcast, but we will not declare the series dead. Now, I am throwing the question to you. Do you think DMC6 shows up tomorrow, or does Capcom surprise us in a different way? Is DMC6 more likely, or a DMC1 or DMC3 style remake? Write your thoughts in the comments. If this video helped you, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and we will talk again right after State of Play.